pretty safe under that tower. Has rage, has ways to be able to kind of avoid the trouble. Meanwhile, mid lane, it's Zyro hitting over onto Kunkka. It's a maybe with the Torrent, and it's just going to zone it back a bit to ensure this laning phase pretty much across the board. The first kill is actually going to be in the top lane. It's 11 who takes down Arteezy, walks away barely alive, but all right, step away one moment, and suddenly it's Arteezy who goes down.
Yeah, he got really low tanking creeps. He had rage on. As soon as the rage wore off, Victoria just rolled over through the trees, got the first point. But EG has been okay with sacrificing Arteezy at times, or kind of letting him catch up later. In this case, like, they'll want Universe to have a good start, to start setting some tempo, and the threatened towers as well off those pushes with the Sumail there a bit. But I also like that they're kind of trying to go at the Chaos Knight a little bit. The Chaos Knight is a very fast hero. We'll see what might happen here.
Yeah, it's maybe looking to go in for the rune. He's caught between two. Zion Sumail traded out. Sumail, though, gets blasted down. Maybe gets that kill first before Zai will ultimately get a little bit of redemption there.
Yeah, despite that nerf to the Dragon Slave damage, it was still enough there. But so the CK is a mobile hero, and he's got a good amount of HP, but he does not have high armor, and early on he doesn't really want to be using his spells too much because they're extremely high mana cost. So I think it was a nice idea to start off with a tougher lane for him. He doesn't get off to a start. He can't really fight back that effectively early on.
Yeah, seems like they're just using Yao to just constantly spam Arcane Curse, be as annoying as possible, but ultimately this bottom lane for LGD has been stabilized, and they're just kind of looking to farm, as you said. CK's actually got high CS for now, so this pressure at bottom has not really amounted to a whole lot.
They're just the pressure set up at the top lane, it would look like, trying to get a commitment onto 11. He bumps him back just a bit, and with the help out from Victoria, he's able to hit a good boulder smash. Zai can't get close enough to finish it off, and Arteezy is just on the run, looking to avoid getting taken down once again. It looks like he will be able to create enough space. Yeah, but a nice quick save there, and 11 will be able to make the trip all the way back home.
That Arteezy's still just so low. It's going to kind of struggle to stay in this lane farming. Even though it was EG getting aggressive, when they don't get a kill and Arteezy gets pressured like this is still concerning.
And now you have this kind of awkward phase now. If they can't hang in that bottom lane, you have a roaming crit Puck, who now suddenly shows up into the mid lane here. Gets off a couple of spells, will zone back maybe a bit, but, he's trying to alleviate a bit of the pressure here. Well, top lane, the pressure's coming in from LGD. Looks like Victoria rolls in onto Arteezy, and now 11 and Victoria are slowly waddling him down. Arteezy will pop the wand. He gets zoned all the way back, but he's going to start to get bullied here if he doesn't get some extra help.
Gold from my chest.
EG are snagging up some bounties, though. They actually grabbed 3 of them once again here.
Yeah, EG a lot more active right now with their supports for the most part. We've seen Puck make a lot of moves, Kunkka as well. For the most part, Silence is just sitting bottom supporting it. But now we've made it looks like LGD kind of reacting to EG's pressure. Trying to bring all the attention towards his mid lane now.
Here we go. It's going to be Victoria rolling on in, looking to go for Sumail. He's a very weak little Pugna. He's dead for sure. Nice setup. Good kill. And the downside is I thought initially, when we got the first phase Puck, it's like, oh yeah, Earthspirit can't really gain a Puck, but Pugna, that's food.
Well, they had the ward, but Earthspirit was on the other side of the ward, so managed to go in kind of undetected, find the kill. Definitely a nice one to get to try and shut down or slow down Sumail in the early game. But we'll see if there's going to be any follow-up. It's just the one death, the 2 deaths on Sumail now, but he's back in the mid lane. He may actually get ganked again.
Oh yeah, rolling in there. And dead once more. This is, when does that Pugna just come online, When does that little guy just come online? When does he actually become a threat? It's a while.
Yeah, I think this is really why I felt like this was going to be a support Pugna. The hero as a mid is so squishy and prone to just getting ganked like we're seeing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much you can do. It's your role just to go back mid, keep farming, but they're going to just keep on going for those kills.
Yeah, especially against high burst heroes. He doesn't, until he is 6, he doesn't really have the capacity to even potentially turn things around or defend himself. He doesn't have a point in ward either, which wouldn't necessarily stop an onslaught, but it's a pretty good value to put one point in that. And
Jack, I gotta interrupt you. You're the Chinese Dota expert. What the heck is this Chaos Knight build?
You mean the skipping?
No stun at all? Hold on, we got action. It's now he's getting mugged in the river. It's wet and it's wild.
Is this the norm?
I don't think so.
What is that?
I've never seen
Reality
this
3, 2,
in my life.
No stun at all?
I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just like, I'm never seen this in my
It's
life.
unusual. Maybe he figures that
They're
with
not killing.
with the Legion Commander or with the Puck able to phase shift or with the Lifestealer able to rage, he's not really expecting to get much use out of that Chaos Bolt early on.
Okay.
It'll either get debuffed instantly or just dodge. He's gonna be able
Alright, there's
Man
the
up
one
on
stun, but if they had another stun
just
there,
that.
maybe, you know, because you got more damage.
He's going to just be able to spam Reality Rift, but until you get like level 4 Reality Rift, it's a decent sized cooldown.
Now they are actually pressuring the CK quite a bit. They hit him up with the Torrent and the Orb. Victoria trying to roll it on in, and he just keeps on rolling on through. They're going to be able to get the CK down and make it a 2-for-0 special.
I just feel like if you're going to go this, at least go 1-3-1. Get like the 1 point in the stun. I mean, level 1 is not exactly the most value point in terms of the stun duration, but it's still like the damage can be pretty useful.
Yeah, and then getting points in the crit early, the chaos strike. I mean, it
Doesn't
just
scale well when you have no items. It goes from 125% to 175%.
Long roll in all the way for Sumail. They got the Laguna, and they're going to be able to get the reach to blast him down. And suddenly it could be LGD getting a 2-for, almost get the finish onto Zai, but he just barely walks away alive.
I also think it's like the lowest percent crit proc in the game, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't have like, you know, you're not really attacking that much early on. I just don't see you really getting anything out of it. So.
But when it hits, man, it's so hard, man. You're going to hit that
sure,
creep,
you
and
get
it might
lifesteal,
it
too.
might die on one hit. It's going to be crazy.
I don't know, like even if you don't manage to keep someone stunned with the Chaos Bolt, like, you still might get some good damage out of it. You're trading that for, let's say, Legion Commander press the attack. I mean, it's not the worst. Right?
Radiant's middle
That's the thing, you're
tower
trading
is under attack.
mana. Like Legion Commander would rather be using overwhelming odds than press the attack, so with that said, he's got Tread Soaring, so mana is not going to be too big of a problem for the universe, but
Yeah, I think Ame's up for a report. That's really...
if I saw my Chaos Knight do this in a pub game, and I hadn't seen this pro game right now, I would be flaming the shit out of you. I'd just be like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like,
Let this program not be an encouraging sign to.
I mean, I played a pub game with Mason a couple days ago. He was Luna. He didn't level ulti on Luna until level 11. I'm just like, I'm playing a support in his lane. I'm like, we can kill this guy. Let's go. And I'm like, wait, you're an ulti? Okay.
We saw Firolina not level Laguna Blade to level 9, I believe, at least
Yeah.
once in one of those games too. So
I mean, it's one of those things where it's a much more efficient farming build. There's some legitimacy to these builds.
Okay, moves on the bottom lane just as EG supports roll out. They make the roll in for Universe now. Are they going to be able to secure the finish with that rift? It should make it no problem. There it is. It's going to be Ame who secures it. He doesn't need a stun for that one, boys.
it's kind of a surprise there, right? I guess if like you're not expecting, well, he hadn't seen a Chaos Bolt all game, so he might have suspected it. But the Reality Rift at level 4 does have a 6-second cooldown, so given his natural speed and given he kind of slow, he is able to run people down when they're in kind of a helpless position.
All right, the big question: if you're going to go to this build, why does he have a Mango? No, I accept the build, but why do you have a Mango?
Tower is under attack.
Oh man, you're not going to get to that point where you need that Mango.
You need
The
a
health
soul ring
regen,
for
bro.
constant
Nah,
Reality Rift.
Yeah. He'll need it maybe with the ulti now. You know, it's
Vitamin C. Mangoes have vitamin C? There's citrus fruit. Long roll all the way in for Sumail once again. They have a look really love to deja vu this one, and they're going to do it. Sumail, the victim of punishment every time I look
Eight
at
knots
this mid lane.
and full ahead.
Poor Pugna, man, he just has no gains at all.
Yeah, we talked about it and kind of hyped up this Sumail versus maybe matchup. This game is looking pretty one-sided as far as the mid lane goes, and
Bottom lane is also for punishment onto Universe. Seems like LGD are always privy to when he has no backup nearby and they just make their move in. He's trying to juke within the trees, tries to do the juke back, runs right through Ame, does the Go Side Do. I love that one, but then they finally cut the tree and then they square up onto each other. Universe needs a little bit more, but can't quite get it in. Crit tries to help out, goes out the door, but Ame's still hitting in strong. Suddenly Victoria's going to roll into action here, and Sumail rotated away from the mid lane, gets in with the action, hits him up with a blast, and then there's the finish. It's suddenly a double kill. The Pugna is back in the game, boys.
that's recovery. He's still a bit under leveled. He's still a full 2 levels behind Lena. Oh, about to be 3 levels behind Lena. That's definitely nice for Sumail to get that flux of gold. A nice rotation coming out from him. Definitely see the power of this CK build there. He's going for 3rd point in Chaos Strike. He is all in on the crits. The really nice thing I think about this is it's definitely the cooldown, but also the armor reduction. It scales really nicely. You get up to 7 minus armor with every use. So it's kind of like a mini amp damage.
Roll in, gets the ward out from Sumail. Oh, also going to be shifting in from side. Really find their targets, but they are going to find the window to move in and allow Sumail to just cleanly finish out that tower.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Dotsie, it's also good for 8 seconds, so you only get the stacking.
Coils up. They're able to get the snap on Ame. They hit him with the Rectify. That drain has long range, but not that quite long. But they are going to allow the move in, the duel, and the duel damage to be rewarded to Universe. That's going to be your first successful duel of this game.
EG just committing more heroes to this bottom lane. If LGD want to stick around and fight this, they need to be bringing in maybe's Lina at that point. And he kind of rotates in after the fight's already broken out, and that's not going to cut it if they want to defend bottom. They either had to kind of make a decision to defend it or just to abandon it. They kind of ended up somewhere in the middle.
Them kind of almost lollygagging around a bit. That has created a bit of space for our lane through that mid lane, but top lane, 11 had been here, farming up quite a bit. Him and Crit now trading within the tower. It's so low. He wants to be able to move in and get a hold of it. Zai tries to go for a Valiant Torrent, but can't quite get it. Even a scan going to be taken out, but Crit will ultimately get the deny on that tower.
Dire's structures
the Link Dagger, I believe that was the kind of reveal, so to speak, but too big a deal.
Yeah, he'd been showing it in the lane, farming through the creeps before that, but he hasn't been able to debut it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That might be something to look to now. I imagine when he gets back to the base, maybe they can grab a smoke or something. They have a lot gathering towards this mid lane. Man, the Silencer, he is so under-leveled. I was just going to say, I'm clicking on him like, they got a global, good to go, right?
Yeah.
No. 13 minutes, he's level 4. There's no global here.
Our brains went the same place. Like, all right, blink lasso time. Is the global up? And now I'm like, whoa, he's level 4.5. Did he not get the tomb? Victoria's level 7. I guess he took the tomb.
Value the Magnetize, which they'll have. 4 stones and Magnetize is plenty. But oh, it's actually EG on the move. They have the high ground moving, and they're going to be the ones to debut a kill onto the Bat, who is not going to get that successful showcase of the Blink Dagger here.
I wish that.
Now it's EG rolling on through. Victoria dishes out the Boulder Smash, but
Radiant's middle
they're just
tower
trying to
is
see
under
where
attack.
EG's approach is, but they're here to simply take over the lane. And the benefits of having the Pugna when you have a posse push like this one is he gets quick tower damage in. That Nether Blast does a lot of work, and I don't know if it's something that you consider getting at level 15 for the talent. You get Nether Blast cooldown or Decrepify Duration?
I'm not actually sure, because it used to be something else. I guess it was a respawn talent that got replaced.
And they get the tower here, and they're looking to get a follow-up onto maybe a big one, as Arteezy rages right past the whole team. Can't quite get the finish, though, and now he finds himself in a Lasso Laguna play, and he will be evaporated from the game. It's going to be EG now, looking to withdraw. Ame rotating in towards the shrine, is able to get a cutoff onto Crit. Pulls him in with the Reality Rift, and they can't quite get him yet. He jumps to the other side. They lock him down, and then they'll finally be able to bring down a couple. Sumail, though, on the back line. Nice clean up onto Yao, while Crit commits to the coil. Looking to go for the finish onto 11. Will be able to get it, but it costs him his own life. Back at the mid lane here, the back end of what looks like the mega kill streak from Sumail. The Pug now online with 4 staff. He's ready to play as he gets the finish on CK.
It used to be, as you said, it used to be a respawn talent. It was a 30-second respawn that was changed. So that was like pretty huge for Pugna. That's kind of maybe surprising that you didn't see more Pugna mids, because again, you hit that 15 quickly, and then he's just constantly like in fights, constantly taking down towers. He's difficult to bring down. Feels like you really have to burst him down if you're fighting this hero, and that's kind of an issue. As for taking the
oh, this is going to be probably oh, sorry, I thought Yao was going to be in trouble here.
Like there's going to be a fight there, but you know, what you mentioned before, the experience Dakota was pretty important when they take that tower, because both EG scored despite starting off in the aggro tri-lane, so they have that much more presence. They have bolts in the fight, and compared to not having the global silence. You see Pugna catching up very nicely. Like, he had trouble in lane, but he kept up the CS for the most part. He was able to really siege down these towers, and when he rotates successfully, like the bottom gets those kills, the tower just disappears. That's one of the advantages of that Pugna. But I think if you get the, if you end up getting the Nether Blast instead of the Decrepify, it's very mana intensive. I mean, you'd have more bursts and like just a shorter fight. Maybe not as.
Let's go full Aether Lens now to go with this full staff. I think the key strategic thing for EG is getting Arteezy involved really early. He is soon he rushed the arm lane, and as soon as he got it, he was infesting in his team, looking for pickoffs. He did not play a farming lifesteal at all. And considering you've got a mid pug now, normally you'd say, oh, maybe you want to have at least one of your cores farming, but I think he recognizes that their draft is on a bit of a time where they don't want to get into a farm game against LGD's lineup. They want to be staying the tempo, and that's exactly what EG have managed to do over the last 5-10 minutes.
See a lot of lifestealers go for that Midas these days, especially if they're going to fight, so it's like, oh, I'm not going to have time to hit creeps. I want to still keep up my income. But given his laning situation, as you said, Gats, there's no way he was going to go for that this game. And then with the Pugna available, again, like they can take Roche relatively early on, he can protect Mark.
Bottom is support staff rolling in with a coil and a bow, and then with Universe stepping in, he'll get the duel and the free damage too.
It's a level 10 Kunkka already. Their supports are just way ahead of LGD's. Puck himself almost level 10. The level difference
Radiant's bottom
incredible
tower
between the
is
two.
under
Jack
attack.
was alluding to it a bit. Once the bottom lane like equalized out, we saw both Crit and Zai just
Radiant
run around the map,
structures
getting the
are
mileage
fortified.
in. They were picking up the opponent's bounty runes, their own bounty runes, and just making ganks and setups,
Dire's
falling
top
off the tower
is under
takedowns.
attack.
And now the supports are just so swole that you can't help but feel like that.
Radiant's bottom
LGD just
tower
probably
is
missed a
under attack.
huge power peak window by not having that global silence earlier. There was a huge fight. That whole fight like would have been so different if there was this global. They use it now, but EG are simply walking out the other direction and nothing's going to come from it.
Yeah, something stopped the bat's blink, it looked like. I'm not sure exactly what. And it was kind of went in. It looked like Silencer thought he was about to blink. It popped a global. Didn't blink until a second later and didn't even get the lasso off. That was a big fumbled opportunity for LGD. You've got to get value out of that global because now EG, they're probably going to look to just back off for like the next 20-30 seconds, push up these lanes, and then group up for another fight or a smoke, because fighting while global's down is going to work out well.
Could always be something fun, like you hit Firefly while ward's out and suddenly you lost your blink cooldown.
Yeah, I think it likely was the Nether Ward actually. That's a good point.
Nether ward will just snipe your blink cooldown like that. You know what's going on. Get a second opportunity, but just like that, they quickly cancel it out. They will be able to get the follow-up Laguna and finish onto Universe there. A hard Roman commitment from LGD will reward them the LC, but will they walk it out without losing anybody here? Quick blink and the Bat Rider's going to be gone.
Radiant's top tower is
Nice
under
little pick.
attack.
Nice, quick and easily done, even with the fast reaction from the Kunkka to try and bail him out. It really feels like a very interesting and unique approach to this game from EG. They seem to... I feel like my assessment's kind of like they seem to have a better understanding of how to play the patch right now, with just fighting a lot more early on. Also distributing the farm at levels. I think there's been like a recurring theme with some of these supports that they're heavily under-leveled around that 10 to 15 minute stage, but EG have managed to get a lot of experience across the board, and that's really giving them a big teamfight advantage. Just having all these extra levels, like maxing out the X early, giving them a long-range initiation, Puck having levels in both Silence as well as the Orb. He's also going to have a Blink now. EG's just farm distribution has been a lot better than LGD, who have kind of gone all in on this Lina getting farmed, and Lina cannot carry this game alone.
Yeah, that's been a good point. They've been able to find successful fights. I think that's been the crux of the experience advantage of the supports. I think like one of the supports is, so Zai's got 3 kills and Crit's got 4, and so like that alone, taking these successful fights or being there to end streaks or kill cores has kept their experience up. As we see a smoke play coming out from, like, LGD has kind of a traditional, like the Chinese always say, like tempo quite a bit type of lineup where like you play around the cooldowns of, you know, Bat or Lina, one person dies, but the in-between game I think belongs to EG. When there aren't these big cooldowns, they can take these skirmishes very well.
Power.
And if LGD aren't together to answer, as we
Dire's
see the
middle
smoke
tower
coming around
is
mid,
under
they can pay
attack.
the price.
Oh man, EG have potential to set up right behind LGD's positioning as they're the team checking out the Roche camp right now, and as they notice nobody's around, they move right in for it, but EG are just outside Crit.
Silencer may get caught if he's not careful.
He does have global up. If they can get the first pick on the Silencer right away, it would be huge. But look at this, EG actually drawing out a movement towards the bottom lane. They're
Dire's
just going to
middle
move it for the
tower is under
tier 2
attack.
during this, and LGD
Radiant's
just get the
bottom
free
tower
game.
is under attack.
They seem to just not... I think if they knew they would contest it, the Puck was waiting right where Silencer walked till he just walked there like 2 seconds after the Puck left. That would have been the easiest
Radiant's
Silencer
bottom
kill
tower has
of his
fallen.
life if he just was a little bit
Dire's middle
more patient,
tower
but
is
he
under
doesn't see
attack.
or know what was going on. I don't even know...
Dire's structures
I imagine there was a good
are
chance
fortified.
EG didn't even realize Roche was going down, or if they did, they just didn't want to play around the pit because their vision in that area is non-existent right now. So
Dire's
fighting
middle tower
around blind spots at night is very tricky to do.
Yeah, they might have reasoned that LGD knew about the smoke or had seen it and had like backed up or from in the camps. Instead, LG was even further beyond them, actually inside the Roche pit. So.
I think there's, like, if they know they're in the Roche pit, they had a high ground advantage. They were coming in from the south. They would definitely have contested that. I don't think that was a decision from EG to let it go. They just had, they got caught a bit by surprise by it. They don't have a traditional Roche lineup. It's actually this reality rift that allowed them to do Roche with that minus armor. A lot of bonus damage from all sources.
He also went right into the Echo Saber. I don't know if you guys talked about that much. Is it something necessary just so you get the most out of after that rift follow-up? I guess it helps a bit with his farming, which he does not have the fastest farm. You don't have to hold this because here comes a potential for a swinger.
Bounty!
Oh, they're positioning. Crit is creeping around. Oh, the smoke is going to get instantly popped. He moves in. The quick bomb hit. Trying to get the jump onto the Bat Rider, but it is going to be the snag catch onto Arteezy with the Laguna. He could be taken out of the fight, but he gets a new best off. It's going to be on Zunail, but look at him get quickly battered down. Pullback is there, and now it is EG on the run back. LGD, though, are able to run down Arteezy, hit him with the curse, hit him with the stun. The purge is there from Universe, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down. Big fight for LGD. Their positioning actually turned out to be the best there.
Quick fingers on the blink. That Lina gets caught with a... It basically made the entire Infest combo. The Puck and the Lifestealer couldn't use their spells. Puck misses the silence. It also means Lifestealer, when it pops out of the Infest, couldn't hit anyone. He wasted his entire rage and gets lassoed, so if you miss that initiation with the Infest bomb, you're in a terrible spot, and that's exactly what maybe caused them to do with some fast reaction.
Oh, he's right to hide under that glimmer. Omnic crosses the street, crosses paths with a pirate, makes him walk.
Base. He hasn't. I mean, he's got farm now, but he was kind of slowing down a little bit with a couple of deaths. He's died 4 times this game, but at this point he's looking very tricky to deal with. Hugner's queued up a mech, and I feel like this is a direct response to like this Chaos Knight right now. He's gonna get lassoed.
Yes, he is. Kidnapped, pulled back and away into the arms of Somnos, aka Maybe. Yeah, not cool name, Maybe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's going for that. Smith wants to focus on this. Fucking with that silence is very susceptible to being
Jumping right away, pull back, and then that is the life inside.
Well, apparently going all in on Maybe's Lina was the right play. It's working out just fine.
Yeah.
Unleveled silencer, you don't care. As long as you're level 6, you're happy. A quick turn of events. EG, that Roche, EG were actually in the better position when that Roche was going down. They just didn't check it. They had that smoke was perfect. They were coming in from behind. They could have caught the silencer, stopped the global silence getting used. Obviously, this is what we see. EG don't see it. But
Oh, they'll see it when they go back and check the replay gods, and then they're going to see, oh my god, what happened? Yeah, that maybe an opportunity had just gotten away from them.
Their team fight's scarier if they get their spells off, and that's always the tricky thing, is if you get the Ghost Ship with the Puck Dream Call, there's a lot of good synergy where you land all those spells together. You have the Pug and Nether Ward to stop your opposing team using. It completely ruins this Lina, although not anymore that she's got BKB, but the key thing is for LGD, to win a fight is they need picks. That's what Bat Rider gives them, that's what the Chaos Knight gives them.
That was cute. Ahmed trying to jump up from the low ground using the benefit of that ward. Now reveals the ward is there, but that's a nice little grab up on the
That ward served its purpose. It was the Roche securing ward. And that Aegis has kind of given LGD this massive lead now.
Yeah, I don't know what plan B is now for EG. Their late game is pretty much all on the shoulders of wherever Arteezy's current farm is at. You have the infinite scaling Legion Commander, but Universe with only 20 damage. Doesn't feel great.
Arteezy's not farming well. Without the Midas, he's not going to farm particularly fast. He's going for a Lincoln Sphere, so he's going to be a harder target to deal with because you can't just straight up lasso him, but at the same time, he's not going to deal damage. You can ignore him, throw some 4-stops around, kite him around. I don't think he's going to be too big of a problem this game.
Yeah, there's kind of a point where EG came online a little bit, like the link up on Universe, the ultimate's up on the supports, they're ready to go take some towers, but again, that smoke was huge. They haven't been able to find these like smaller skirmishes that they want to be taking. Pugno requires like a good amount of defensive farm, because even if he's itemized to get the Greaves against the Silence, he still doesn't want to be disabled. He feels like he's going to need a BKB too, and an Aghanims at some point. There just doesn't seem to be the space on the map to support that right now, so they have to go as 5, find some successful fights, either if LGD is separated, because then their ults can only do so much to protect them. But if LGD are together with the Global Silence, with their ults right now, I think it's going to be very hard for EG to fight into them.
EG already trying to fight into him at this moment. They have plenty of deep vision into LGD's territory, so they're trying to fight around their vision, but LGD, whether it's game sense or maybe having the better bit of intel, they have this very deep ward down here on EG's side. Avoid EG altogether, and as long as they can kind of play the economy game right now, we're going to be bringing in better farm and better late game potential for their team.
There's a saying for that in Chinese. Well, it's kind of like a folk pub saying. So if you have one of those supports who goes like Midas travels, the phrase in Chinese is like not listening, Midas travels. Another one for that is like not fighting, pushing lanes and taking towers. So that's kind of the other strategy that LGD are going with right now. They're kind of avoiding these big fights, but they are able to take a big fight. If they're all there, they have the ult and they have the global. Again, they're fine in that situation. The worst case scenario for them is to be caught out in a small skirmish with just 1 or 2 heroes and having to expend an ult that doesn't give them.
A jump in from EG here to get the move onto Bat. The silence is going to be coming out, and Ame's already swinging it away. Takes out Universe on the back of his BKB. Now looking to move it onto Arteezy. His Lincolns will be popped, but he gets some help from Zide nearby with that Glimmer. Ame spots him out, gets the rift, gets the pullback, and they begin to hit it home, but Arteezy's turning around. He's man-fighting this one, and he's leeching it up, and they will get the takedown of CK. Bomb's going to be there. Quick hits him with the coil, but Victoria's rolled into action. Laguna is going to get canceled out from the Lincolns there. Arteezy, though, hit with the Magnetize. He will try to toggle and fight his way through this one and gets the takedown of Victoria and secures the double kill. He will walk away a man alive, and EG get the fight they were hoping. A fight from the high ground. A jump suddenly onto the Bat Rider, and then chaos.
So that is exactly what we were just talking about. That was, they had their ults up at LGD, but that was a skirmish. They only had 2 or 3 heroes at the start of the fight. And because of that, they don't get enough value out of the global silence. You need to burst down 1 or 2 heroes, it feels like, with that global. Otherwise, you can't take an extended fight against EG. So I think that was the issue there. Again, like they found a fight, but it was only 3 people. They committed their big ults. EG were able to take the rest of that skirmish, and you can't have a fight start like that if you're LGD. If you're gonna fight at all, it's gotta be, I think, with your whole team at this point. Given how their lineup works, given how important it is that CK deal critical damage in the time span that he has his ult and BKB. If you don't do that, then as the fight drags on, they can't deal with the sustain of evil geniuses.
He held his ult a long time. It was kind of like knowing that if he used it, his illusions might get spammed down. And he also just wanted to BKB and right click, but he got very little value out of that 10-second BKB. Crucially for EG is they were the ones getting the jump. They caught the Bat, there was no lasso into Global Silence. The Global Silence was trying to protect the Bat, it wasn't to cover a lasso being used. The Bat still died, so...
Oh, follow-up here. Universe says, let's swing. Goes in with the Blade Mail duel. Him and Crit trying to get the best of Ame, but they are not winning that fight. Yao and Ame, with the late appearance of Victoria, will get the better of it. Does expend a BKB charge, but he wins, and now 2 will go down on EG's side. They scattered the Roche, but it looks like they will need another minute before
top tower is under attack.
Ame with that devastating crit onto Sumail.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Even now, Pugna is still kind of, weak for HP on most hero core. 1425. Kind of seems still pretty frail.
See what Chaos Knight goes level 20 for his talent. He goes to stats, okay. We were talking about this earlier, like it seems a lot of the Chinese players really don't like getting GPM talents. You see Zai getting picked off on Tutka. He's out on the little, I think, warding expedition with his Glimmer Cape, get caught punished, but it's definitely, I think, difference between the Eastern and Western players is the Western players definitely prefer the GPM talents a lot more than their Eastern counterparts.
This is pretty good timing at the moment. Crit is pushing him pretty hard for this bottom lane, as LGD are hoping to fall back in. Does not have their whole team needed for fight at that point.
I think it's a harder decision in this case because they might. Well, maybe they feel that. As we see, fight started there on Sumail.
They pull him back. They hit him with the Laguna, but he's able to hit the mech. He runs out on the back of his Decrep. He gets some help with the Lincolns and makes it inside for once. Sumail
has
not
fallen.
going to be evaporated out from a
Puck
gank.
split push bottom.
But yeah, Crit is still going into this bottom lane push. He actually managed to get the tower to about a third of its life, and like mentioned before, LGD, we're not going to be able to follow up with the Roche takedown or any serious base damage. The tier 2 will get dropped, and now it's going to be EG already on the fight back. They smoke and they head back towards this Roche area. Will they do it, though, if they notice that LG are not around?
So they want to go for the pick first. They can catch like Ame, that'd be huge. Global Silence being down is the big pot here, and LGD.
Universe allowing distances way far. And gonna be able to get the grab around and just manhandles them right out of the game. Arteezy looks to be next here. They hit him up with a good Glimmer Cape. Oh my god, he just gets insta-killed on that one. Arteezy seems to be next. They slide everything they got on forward. Zyke tries to help out, moving in with the boat. It slows them down a bit, but already LGD have gotten the big prize winners. And it looks like they will get Deny as well. Did you get the Deny? No. Yeah, we'll get the finish there. Sume also going to be going down. It's all 5 that are dropped here, gentlemen. Oh.
Sometimes you initiate, sometimes the initiation comes to you.
That was just like, he was like, that was a long jump and a half.
Yeah.
And the half was just a bit too much.
That was bold and ambitious. If it pays off if they get the jewel, I think likely the Chaos Knight can get bursted down there without a Global Silence to cover him.
Is under attack.
Such a small,
Dire's
tiny
structures are
little
fortified.
bit of inches separating them there. If he just
Radiant's top tower.
a little bit closer, it could have just been a completely different team fight with EG wiping LGD.
Heal the brave, fearlessly charging in.
You know, I think that's a good quality to have in your offlane. You don't want an offlaner who's scared to initiate though. That's the kind of mistake I feel like after a game, like if you don't want to like give your offlaner too much. Yeah, you don't want to harp on it or give your offlaner shit for doing stuff like that. He's gonna know like he fucked up, but as his teammate, you can't like fault him for that. You want an offlaner who's willing to take those risks.
He was courageous for sure, but then Ame turned around and gave him the stank eye, man. Punched him. He just punched him into another dimension. Like, nice try.
Well, usually as CK, you have this problem where people are trying to fly the kite around you, and then you're just trying to like, hey, come here, buddy. You know, I've got a reality with illusions for you. But then that kind of just came to his doorstep.
Yeah. Sometimes the gifts just land in your lap like that. For a CK, that is just a dream come true. But they're going to give it another try here, gentlemen. EG smoked up yet again. Universe with package yet again. Will they be successful on this go around here? Moving in pretty deep from the team. They get an insta global to take out this puck. It's a global down, but the follow-up could be there too. They move in, they get the grab on the side, they pull him right back into the arms of the rest of the LGD, and they'll eventually break him apart. And it looks like this could be the beginning of the end here. Even Sumail getting spotted out on the side. His TP will get canceled. He will be brought down. Arteezy seems to be the only survivor already back home. The rest of LGD begin to party it out inside the Roche pit though. Man, they are just EG now in the second half of this game.
Yeah, one thing to think about with the stats versus gold argument. So if we go back to that 122 points, so in about 20 minutes or so, and like that's fewer than the stats that he would just get, and he can take those right now. It's not really an investment. Maybe he's not expecting the game to go much longer, or he doesn't feel he has too much item progression left, in which he maybe needs that gold for. It's just a more reliable situation for him, and of course you want those stats back
Dire's
in
middle
anyway.
barracks
So
are under attack.
it makes sense. A lot of heroes are choosing this. I think for the Void it makes sense too, because 300 health, like Void, as when you play Void, you're a hero that wants HP, but you don't necessarily want to itemize directly for him. So it does solve a couple issues.
I think it's one of those things, even in a closer game, I mean, maybe even more in a close game, but even if you feel like the game's going to drag for like 30, 40 more minutes, the stats are likely going to be better than the GPM even then. Plus 12 all stats is a ton. That's going to be one of the better level 20 talents out there. You see LGD's next move with Aegis in hand, they've got to be feeling pretty brave at this point to look to break open this high ground.
Yep, their parade goes through the top lane here. Send into the high ground now. They've already taken down one Rax as we see
Dire's
there in
top
the mid
tower
lane.
is
And we gotta
under
see
attack.
what the hell EG is going to do to try to defend this one. Their high ground defense. Oh boy, they get hold of Sumail. They are going to be able to pull him back in. He quickly gets all the help he can ask for. A Purge, a Glimmer, the Self-Decrepify, everything to make sure he stays alive. And he will for now. Arteezy now thinking about making his move in for Ame. Ame gets the help with Force Staff to the low ground. The coil had been committed now from EG's side. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be very effective here. Ame moves in, hits out with the stun. These managed to get pulled back. They can go for the finish onto Sumail. Can they get it done? Where's Glenn showing her way through it? But it looks like they did. Universe gets blasted there next. The boat shark is going to be flying on forward, but EG have already been brought down, beaten badly and bloody, bruised, whatever B word you want to say. LGD, I think they got this one. And it's over. LGD will be the big boys on the block, it looks like, as they have now already taken down OG, EG, and LGD. FY, there's
It's a pretty well executed game from LGD. Definitely some questions in the early game, I think, that arose because they had such a good lightning phase, and then EG just